And
All
we're
right,
live.
and we are live. So whoever is here, thanks for joining us for our third week. I think we finally got the hang of this, don't you, Nate?
I think so, yes. Especially now that I have a giant black microphone in front of my face.
Sounds a lot better, studio quality, and he's got some extra bandwidth on his end, so maybe video won't lag as bad for either of us. We'll see how that turns out.
And if you can see how badly I'm sweating right now, I'm very sorry. so,
So
this has been an interesting week,
it's
far
been
as you know, everything goes.
everything, and the first topic I'm gonna hand off to Nate because if you were here last week. Uh, you saw the Nate, you saw her and her Nate talk about how he's into automotive technology, and I am as well. I used to be into cars a lot more a little bit longer ago before I got into technology, but I still really like technology. And so there's, as I'm sure you saw, some news from Tesla today, and I'm gonna let Nate talk about that because that's definitely his forte.
This is big. Basically, what has happened is Elon Musk, the badass that he is, has basically said, you know what? All the hard work that we've done getting the Model S and now the coming Model X and the cheaper model down the road, all the patents and stuff that they had hanging on the wall are no longer on the wall and are now open for your perusal so that you can make yourself a proper electric car. And I think that is just outstanding. I mean, effectively, what has happened here is Elon has said to all the automakers, you know what? We realize we're badasses and we're whooping your ass, but we're going to give you the equalizers right here and right now. Have at them as you will, just as long as you do the Creative Commons thing and give us a little bit of credit and say, hey,
Exactly.
you know what? We realized that this technology did actually come from Tesla. You don't have to kiss Tesla's ass. The only thing you have to do is give them a nod. That's it. And I think that is so cool.
I
I
think
mean,
it's awesome.
exactly right.
I
I
think
really cannot stress just how this is a person who honestly gives a crap about the automotive world, about the advancement of society, about everything. I
yeah.
mean, he's made more strides in the past 5 years, with not even with Tesla, with SpaceX. Okay, not even with Tesla. He's advanced space technology so far. I mean, we have a rocket now that goes up and comes back down on its own engines on one axis. It just comes straight down and shuts off. That's it. That's the stuff of science fiction, man. I mean, this is great. And now we're just basically giving this technology to anyone who wants it.
Exactly, and I think it's
That is so cool.
it's insane, and it's great for the consumer. Like you said, Elon really cares about society and the consumer. You saw what he tried to do with Hyperloop, and
And
he
I still want someone to do something with that.
and hopefully somebody will pick it up because he already outright said he's not going to. He doesn't have the time, the money, or the resources, and that's a
Right.
rich man. So if he doesn't have
He
the
is a
resources,
very rich man.
I don't. If he didn't
I
have the
might have a
resources, I
screen
don't know who
share
does.
of the article that I ripped that from. And now you can probably see it now. But basically, this is the article that I'm reading. And the picture here that Jalopnik put up is just hysterical. But the greatest part is the fact that that's actually what the article is called, is all our patent are belong to you. Because Elon is a huge nerd, so he took it way back in the day. So, I'm going to load the actual article now. See, right there, all our patent are belong to you, dated June 12th, 2014, by Elon Musk, CEO. Well done, sir. I like that.
It's good on him, and it shows like we keep saying that he honestly would like to see society go that way. Like, for 90 grand for, a decent version of his vehicle to go, the full 300 miles on a charge, not a lot of people are going to fork that over. It's a premium that
Right.
people aren't willing to pay. So instead they get the Nissan Leaf, which goes like to the
100
grocery.
miles on a charge with a
Yeah,
top speed of 80.
exactly.
Get
Like to
lost.
the grocery store and back, and then you got to charge it again. I want something I can take. Like I want it to be the equivalent of a regular car, and so
Yes.
I think he's going to keep innovating and keep making new Tesla electric cars, but at the same time, Chevy is going to improve on their technology. Maybe we'll see Toyota get into the game.
Yeah.
Nissan improve their crap that they have out there right now.
Honestly, though, Nissan, seriously, if you actually believe that the Leaf is a good car, and my bad, to all of the drivers of the Leaf, if you actually believe that's a good car, I feel so sorry for you. I really and truly do. I mean, the next best thing you've got to that car is the Mitsubishi IMEV, which, really? Are you kidding me? That thing is a joke. I think it's awesome that Mitsubishi basically outfitted the entire town of Normal with those things, but that's beside the point because those cars suck.
Have you been to Normal?
Yes.
They're everywhere, and I think I want to say there are some I don't want to say civilians, but just regular citizens that drive them. But probably 90% of them in Normal are
they're all municipal, aren't they?
And for the most part they're meter mates.
Yes.
It's instead of a golf cart, it's a souped-up golf cart with a Mitsubishi logo on the front.
And the funniest part is before that, they used the Cushman Truckster, which actually had a gas engine and was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, meter maids. But honestly, though, I mean, the next best thing Nissan has is a race car called the Ziad RC. And this thing, it's an electric car, and it's based on another race car called the Delta Wing, which is just it looks like something Batman would drive, and I absolutely love it. I just want to see the Ziad become Nissan's new electric car instead of this piece of crap Leaf. I hate it.
It's not a good thing. I'm not a fan of it.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. My favorite actual hybrid car right now is the Chevrolet Volt. It's a great car. It's fun to drive. It's peppy. It gets 40 miles per charge before you kick in the gas engine, and even then, you're still doing 200 miles a gallon. I mean, come on. If you actually pick the Leaf over the Volt just because you have some sort of hatred against Chevy, you're an idiot.
Wait, is there that big of a price difference? I mean, there is, isn't there?
Yes, absolutely there is. I'm look up the price right now.
I think the Volt's a lot more, though, right?
The Volt starts at about $27,000.
Okay, that's not as bad as I thought.
I think that's right. I know I saw a used one for about that.
That's all that matters. You should never buy a new automobile anyway.
No, never. Never a first-year car. Bad idea.
You set foot in that thing and you
car, in which case he'll just send out a wireless update and fix it right there. Better give you the update and retrofit for free. I mean, hello, the titanium undercarriage that basically kept the batteries from going poof every time they have a wreck, which there's been 3 times that's happened.
Where it exploded?
3. And they didn't even explode. They just kind of lightly catch fire. But the thing is
just nobody, gentle fire in the backseat.
Just gentle fire, no big deal,
Just casual.
But the thing is in all of these accidents, nobody's ever been injured. Nobody has ever been injured in any of these accidents. And it's just like, I think they're onto something here. So what do they, but they don't want to admit it. So what do? They put in a titanium undercarriage on these damn things, and that solves a problem right there. I mean, there's video of the undercarriage from Tesla destroying alternators, cinder blocks, just stuff like that,
Right. Yeah.
And I realize I probably sound like I'm eating Elon Musk's sausage right now, but the fact of the matter is right now Tesla is easily, as far as I'm concerned, S&P can suck it. They downgraded Tesla's junk rating or bond rating to junk, which I just think is stupid, because we're talking about a company right now that is officially leading the way in electric car technology, whether anyone else wants to believe it or not. And you do that, really? And now they go and do this, and they basically just say, you know what? All of our patents, have them. Fix yourselves and bring yourselves up to our standards. Effectively, get on our level.
Basically, help us kill the monopoly because I mean it's not even a monopoly. It's almost like a standoff where it's like there's these companies standing around in a circle waiting for someone to make something worth throwing money at.
Exactly. And I think that is just absolutely great. Well done. Seriously, well done, Mr. Musk. I like that.
Round of applause. So the next thing that I found interesting and compelling at first was when it broke today, I believe, Amazon Music Prime or Amazon Prime Music or Prime Amazon Music or whatever.
Music Prime Amazon.
Exactly. I forgot the other permutation.
Something, however you call it. I don't know. Call Gary Busey. He can say it.
Hello, pants. But the thing was with this is it's Amazon's version of Spotify, and it's thrown in with your Prime subscription, which if you're a student, it's $50 a year, and if you're the average Joe, it's $199.99, but you get it. So when you get that, you get the free Kindle books once a month. You get streaming video, which the library is super limited compared to Netflix and things like that. What else? The shipping, obviously. You get the free shipping for 2-day shipping. I don't know. I've never had it. I've never seen it worth the investment. But now,
I had it for about 6 months because they were giving it away for students.
Right.
And they ended that.
And it is. I think they still do that. But
are they?
Yeah. Then they marked up the price to where it's not $40 a month anymore because it's.
Right. Yeah. It's really expensive.
It's not too bad. It's $50 now. They just added $10 to each side. I don't know. So,
see, I was told it went up a lot.
Oh no! Okay, full price went up $20. They went from 80 to 100, and then student went from 40 to 50. So it was just a.
Okay.
It was just a 20% bump all around. That's what it was. But so now they're going to add this Music Prime to the package, and it only they brag about it like it's some huge number, but it only has 1 million songs. And I'm going to Google it. I'm not going to Google it. But Spotify, I'm pretty sure has something close to 22 million. Does that sound right?
That does, yeah. Now, if I remember correctly, didn't iTunes start out with 1 million songs?
That it very well might have, but then again, that was
also 2006.
Yes, back when there might have only been 2 million songs altogether on the internet total.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not a viable Spotify killer, in my opinion. No, I don't even have Spotify Premium, and I would not leave Spotify Premium. It's free. Spotify's free, and it keeps me hostage. How does it do that? I don't even have the paid features, and I'm not loyal. But
right, yeah.
The thing with this is it only has 1 million songs, which means they're probably anywhere in the window of 50 to 3 years old. And there's an explicit article on some website I read today that says there are no hits of today, at all. Just don't expect to listen to something on the radio and then go home and get on Amazon Prime Music. And
so effectively, you're going to go on there and you're going to find probably the Beach Boys' first album, maybe even Pet Sounds.
Right. Well, maybe not even because they're going to have to fight with all the record companies, Universal, Sony, all that crap, because they're going to have to go through what Apple did with iTunes Radio and getting all these labels to sign on and say, here, take our things because you gave us enough money.
Right. I don't see that happening.
I don't either, and because I don't know, I feel like the record labels have too much to lose, and I'm all on the side that record labels make too much money to begin with, and they don't lose money from people downloading music. That's beside the point, though. The whole point, I don't even think Amazon thinks that there is a legitimate use to Amazon Prime Music. I don't even think that they believe in it as a true competitor.
Honestly, I think this is going to go the way that Apple Ping did. You remember Ping?
I remember the name Ping, and I can't even tell you what it did because
it was effectively an iTunes-based Facebook thing.
It was. I remember that now. Oh my God!
And it was disgusting.
I remember that because you could follow bands, and that had no point.
Yeah, it was officially dumb.
I think the general purpose, and Amazon will never admit this to you or me or themselves, but I think it's one to keep, existing Prime subscribers subscribing and giving them $100 a year because they're like, oh no, look, we're giving you this and we're not charging you more. That just shows you how much money they're making, like what their margin has to be on that $100 a year.
Right.
Because a lot of those people don't use the shipping to full extent, because I'm pretty sure if you break it down, that's probably the most expensive thing that Prime is, because I don't know how streaming works, but I don't think I think it does work like on a pay-per-view basis. Like they don't pay for something unless so many people watch it or whatever on the video streaming. But I think they're doing it to keep subscribers and draw in new ones, because now they have an extra bullet point on the Prime website.
Yep.
It's a very expensive bullet point.
Yeah, pretty much. It just seems dumb to me,
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, but it's not quite enough. Amazon, you can do better.
Exactly. They didn't. I don't think they went far enough in terms of you got to keep it under wraps until you get the major labels. Because if you only have 1 million songs, think about. I'm not even going to try and work out math because I'm going to embarrass myself. But just like the amount of music that is in the world today, and you have 20% of it. No, not even. No, that's 5%. See, I told you I would embarrass myself.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's like 5% of the music in the world, and they're bragging about it. They're saying, "Look at all this music you can borrow," because people see the word million and freak out.
Exactly. I mean, I'm on Gizmodo right now because why not? But they've got an article here that then they're talking about stuff that isn't on the Prime catalog. And they've got a few pictures here. They've got a lot of Foo Fighters stuff. They've got a whole lot of John Legend. They've even got Daft Punk's latest album. Here's what they're missing, though. Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Katy Perry, Kanye West, Queen, Matador Records' entire catalog, Sub Pop Records' entire catalog, Epitaph Records' entire catalog, Nirvana, the Rolling Stones, the Pixies, Elliott Smith, Radiohead, Anthrax, and just basically going on.
Right.
So, I mean, there's so much stuff missing. And everyone's just going to be like, you know what? Nice try. Can we have some more, please? But they can't because they didn't get that UMG license.
But we'll see if they do. I mean, there's always time to sit in a room with a bunch of fat cats and sign an extra contract. And they can probably boost that number by, I'd say, 10 million with the signature on probably 3 different contracts. I'd say that's a fair estimate.
I think so.
If
they did that, then they could probably get some more. But until then,
exactly. We'll see if it turns out like Beats Music. All right. So,
by the way, has anyone tried using Beats Music yet?
I have never even downloaded the app because
I haven't either.
It's some like in the subscribers, the people who paid subscribers are in the 100,000, 200,000s or something like that.
My bad. Apparently, my Android device does have Beats Music on it.
Built in?
Yeah. Try Beats Music for 14 days with a free trial.
Is it AT&T?
Yes.
That's why.
Okay.
People will hit that, and they'll turn it on, and they will forget about it.
And then they're going to have that on their contract.
And they're going to have that on, yeah, exactly. And then
it's right on their bill.
That's probably half of the Beats Music subscribers that they're counting in that count. So
I'm sure, yeah.
I want to know what the real number is and not the accidental subscriber count. Spotify is in the millions.
Right. Who don't even realize that they're subscribed to it.
Exactly. They just pay their bill. Nah. Just write a check.
Oh, that seems a little high this month. Whatever. Who cares?
So the next thing was, and I'm not sure how I feel about this, Intel is universally accepted as the chip maker. AMD can make chips all they want and say, ours are. They don't even try and say theirs are better because they're not. Intel is the thing, and it's sad that it's almost a monopoly like that. But it's one of those things where not anybody can just jump into the market like they can with fruit sales. I don't know. That was the first thing I can think of.
Nice
So
choice.
it's just like the cost to get into the chip industry is too high just because all the silicon and whatever else precious metals are in processors. But Intel has been fined $1.4 billion for unfair sales tactics. And I don't know enough legal mumbo jumbo to know if that goes to the FTC or the SEC or if it goes to AMD. I don't know, but it was all because they were basically screwing AMD.
Right. I'm sure some of that does go to AMD.
It sounds like a settlement to me.
Yeah.
So
I mean, 'cause effectively what they're doing with what the way I understood it is what they were doing was basically just giving retailers and customers a rebate. Says, hey, if you buy one of our chips, which are probably already better than AMD because
right.
hello, yeah, we'll give you some cash. And technically, yes, that is bribes.
And it sounds like a bribery, just like under the table to HP, like, psst, put our chips in your computers, which HP probably didn't say anything about. They probably took the money and they were like, well, we were going to buy those anyway, so.
Yeah, exactly. So, thanks for the bonus, I guess.
I
see you tomorrow night.
Smart business to just take the money and run because I don't know. Maybe it's accepting a bribe and maybe you can get in trouble for that, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think it's legally
a
bribe. I don't know what legally constitutes a corporate bribe.
That's a really good question. I'm going to have to look that one up.
So, in less exciting news, as they do, I'd say 4 times a year. That's an exaggeration. Samsung released new tablets today. Did you hear about it? Probably not.
Yeah, I did hear about it, and well, basically, whoopity-doo, Basil. What does it all mean? No,
exactly.
Honestly, who cares?
Seriously. I want to see the spreadsheet that shows the breakdown of all the different Samsung tablets because you probably couldn't even count them all. There's so many. There's a 7 or 8 inch one every year. Then every once in a while they make a 10-inch. I didn't even read enough. There was a rumor that they were going to release a 12-inch or 12 or 13-inch one tonight. Which just buy a computer.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just so dumb at this point,
Yeah. So they say it's the best screen on a tablet ever. It's like 2560 by 1600, which is insane. And I always thought that over a certain threshold, a smartphone camera, over a certain amount of megapixels, you would not distinguish anything. The file size would be bigger and it would look the same to the naked eye, unless you have, a 100-inch screen on the wall.
And see, the biggest thing is that it doesn't matter. It really does not matter to the most part to the average human being what the resolution is, how big the screen is, or anything like that, or what kind of display it's got in it, because they can't tell the difference.
They can't. And it's like there's a website, it's called isthisretina.com or .net or something.
Right.
And you can select your device or you can select how big your screen is, and it'll tell you at what point, like away from your face, it becomes a retina display, which the definition of a retina display is at what point can you not pick out individual pixels anymore.
Right. And I'll be honest with you, on my Note 3, it's pretty bloody close,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I've got to get pretty much right here and focus really, really hard
to see it.
Before I can see,
Most technology these days is like that, and that's why I think that the fact that this has a horizontal or however which way you hold your tablet has a height of 1600 pixels, that looks the same to you as a 1080 would. I promise.
Yes, absolutely.
You're not going to distinguish it.
And the funniest thing is most people don't want to distinguish it because they don't care.
No, and it's just going to eat battery, and then people are going to buy this tablet and get pissed off
because the battery lasts about 45 minutes.
Exactly. Other than that, I think they have Samsung keeps throwing cores into things like it's candy. They released I don't know if the regular S5 has octa-core or if it's just the international version, but these tablets I believe are all octa-core, which is insane. Next year they're going to be 64-core, and then the next year after that they're going to put
128
in the back. Yeah, exactly. They're just going to put They're just gonna put a data center in the back of the tablet.
Right. And it's just I don't understand it. I mean, on the new Tab S, it's got a fingerprint scanner that remembers prints for up to 8 different users. Okay. It's trimmed in gold colored something, and I think it's dumb.
Sorry, you
I really
triggered
do.
a yawn. You triggered a yawn there with the Samsung talk. If it's anything like the fingerprint scanner on the S5, it's garbage.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you ever seen a video demonstration of that?
I've heard it's pretty crap.
It's garbage. They tried so hard. Like, I can't even believe they put it into mass production. They probably should have made one of them and said, you know what, we should do some R&D on this because this doesn't work.
This thing sucks.
Yeah,
we should go to the guys at IBM, or my bad, Lenovo, and talk to the one they put on the T60 because that thing was great. But
laptop ones are always better. They got more space to work with.
Exactly. I mean, and the thing is all they've got to do is, I don't care if it's ugly or not. Samsung, look at me. Seriously, look at me. No, don't give me that look when I'm look at me. Just put one of them silly little laptop scanners on a phone. Nobody is going to care. And if they do, they're friggin' idiots.
Because it'll work. It'll actually work.
Absolutely. I'm telling you right now, the one on my ThinkPad T60, old as it is, probably 6 or 7 years old, still works every time I swipe this finger or any of these. It works every time. And when I swipe one of these, it doesn't. So
my HP's borderline. I don't know. It's good, but I have to be pretty precise with it. But it's just like Apple did it, and I hate to be that guy, but Apple did it for presumably cheap because then they charge excessive amounts of money for it, and that's how they make their money, and that's why they're worth as much as they are. That's why they can buy it. They can just willy-nilly buy an audio company for just
for the paltry sum of like $30 billion.
Yeah, like just $3 billion. It's just it's nothing. I mean,
just no big deal at all.
Right, exactly.
Drop in the bucket.
It's like if Apple,
I think I might have that in my wallet right now. Really? Come on. Who's actually got that kind of money just laying around?
Apparently them. But if they can, the way they do things, if they're able to develop Touch ID, which from what I don't have a 5S, I have a 5, but from what I can tell, works every time as long as you use the enrolled finger, obviously. Samsung should be able to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
If Samsung can afford to put 28K displays in their phones, they can afford to develop a proper fingerprint scanner. Maybe it's a software problem. Maybe they can push an update. I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Right.
So maybe they'll patch that up, and maybe they'll stop making tablets as often as they do. I think it's an industry standard that the industry has worked out pretty well to make a series, like they figured out with the S4 and 5, and Apple's figured out with the iPad, release it once a year or maybe even longer than that, and make it good.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I don't know. There's so much that Samsung is doing right, but there's so much that they need to just they really need to just figure out what they're doing right, go with that, and then the stuff they're doing wrong, deep six it immediately.
Yep.
And then come out with something that does work.
Just cut the excess, because there's no time to mess with stuff. If you want the S5 to be good, you can't be messing with the 13-inch, S Pad or whatever.
Stupid tablet, yeah. And I'll be frank with you here. I have no use. So, by the way, Samsung, I'm talking to you again. Next note phone you come out with, get rid of the stupid S Pen. I have no use for it. None. Zero use for it. I don't want to write on my phone. I've got a pen and paper for that. And if I really have to, I'll just type it on the damn thing. It's huge. I can do that.
What's the screen size on that? Like 5.5?
5.7, something like that.
I think you're right. 5.7. That sounds right.
Lord knows the Galaxy Mega is like 6'4".
6'3", I believe. Yeah.
6'3". It's huge. I saw one of those for the first time in person the other night, and it was just like, damn, that's a massive phone.
Probably looked like my Nexus 7.
It was pretty good size, man.
Oh my gosh. All right. The next one is frankly kind of scary in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about the chatbot. I forgot his name, some nerdy name. Basically, some artificial intelligence engineers made a chatbot that was supposed. It's obviously not. It's a bot. It's not a real person that simulates a 13-year-old boy, and with artificial intelligence, the
They called it
whole
Eugene Goostman.
that's it. Yep.
I don't know
The
why they
whole
called it Eugene Goostman, but whatever.
because they wanted us to wonder why they called it that.
Probably, yes. The
But
weirdest
basically,
creature in the world.
yeah, he is weird because he did pass the Turing test, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Alan Turing was big into this type of thing when he was around. But basically, the test is, I think the criteria is 30% of the peanut gallery basically has to be fooled into thinking that the artificial intelligence is an actual person based
Right.
on their responses. And am I getting that right?
Yes, absolutely. The thing is I don't know that it actually counts, and I'm with Google on this one because they say it didn't pass, and I'm
Yeah.
with them on this one because they say that the thing that passed was they claim that it was posing as a 13-year-old boy typing in his second language that it wasn't exactly fluent in.
Okay. See that.
That's a cop out.
Yeah, that's definitely a cop
You
out,
know?
and for all intents and purposes, if they wanted to go that route, they could have just made it a toddler and made it type ASDF over and over. Oh wait,
Exactly right. Or
it's a real boy.
WASD.
It's a
Or
real.
something else. Exactly. It's
Yeah,
like, I'm a real boy. It's like,
it's a
no, you're
real.
not. No, you're
Because
not. You're a
they
puppet. That's
they
it.
asked it, they like asked it complex questions, and he answered them with questions,
Yeah.
like the classic criminals trying to do.
This is backwards Jeopardy is what it is.
Yeah, I'm more impressed with Watson.
Yeah, seriously. That was impressive.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. If there were any computer on the planet, it's not that can pass the Turing test. It's not going to be a stupid chatbot that's posing as a 13-year-old boy in a second language. It's going to be something like Deep Blue, who played against Gary Kasparov back in the '90s and kicked his ass at a nice game of chess.
Right.
It's going to be Watson, or it's going to be something like that, or it's going to be one of these huge supercomputers that predict the weather, or it's not going to be a damn chatbot. That's so stupid.
It's definitely going to be a supercomputer. And I actually read a heated debate the other day that was talking about how this chatbot it's just a program. It might be a couple files of code that that have some structured responses.
Right.
But other than that, it's not any computations. It's not real artificial intelligence.
It's not.
So the thing is, it's like I read this heated debate. Like these guys were going at each other on a comment box on some website about how Watson can't pass the Turing test because he's not artificial intelligence. I can't think of what it's called, but it's something else. It's like structured data recovery, or what's the word? I don't know. Whatever. It's something about just going out and getting answers to things and bringing them back. It's not like he can sense emotion, things like that.
Right.
I think we're
just posted an article on The Verge about the chatbot, and I think it's right here. Ray Kurzweil is just kind of like, yeah, there's no way in hell this thing did it. But the thing that I find funny is the fact that he's saying that's because the test doesn't define specific rules,
right.
Meaning it's up to the public at large to determine whether a computer has actually passed it. I'll be honest with you right there. If it's up to the public at large to determine whether a computer has actually passed the Turing test, what's the point? Because the public is a bunch of idiots. There needs to be a set standard.
I still think the standard, sort of, from what I got out of it, is the standard still kind of is the 30%, and then after that, it's one of those things. Decide for yourself whatever you want, but the reality is it only fooled, say 10%.
Exactly. And
So
whatever.
it is what it is, and people are going to keep developing artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence scares me shitless. If you've ever seen iRobot, you feel me. You feel my pain.
Oh yeah. You're experiencing a car accident. Eat shit.
Exactly. I do not want things to be done for me. I'm going into IT, and if artificial intelligence takes off, the first field to go is
IT. Yep.
And that's supposed to be the exploding field right now. So.
And the thing is it's supposed to be one of the most exploding fields right now. But exactly. At the same time, if AI ever does take off, then it's literally going to explode because it ain't going to be there no more.
Exactly. And then we're talking about computers, supercomputers. Like, I'm hoping, like, out of college to get, some kind of development job, Java or something like that. And if they make supercomputers that can code, what do they need us for?
Right.
I don't.
Exactly.
They don't. That's the answer. They don't need us.
End of line. I'm sorry, Dave, but I can't let you do that.
I can't let you do that, Dave.
Oh, gosh. Daisy, Daisy.
Man.
Just honestly, if it ever comes to that, then we as a species, we as a race, as citizens of this planet, we are so boned.
Yep. And there's a word for it, but I'm just going to put it like this. That AI, the definition of AI implies that the computer is intelligent, like the nature of the word intelligent. And if that comes to that, it's going to be adaptive, and it's going to, like, the nature of a computer taking over, like Eagle Eye with Shia LaBeouf, that's not out of the question. That's not science fiction anymore.
No, it's not. I mean, at that point, you might as well just go ahead and introduce Skynet, because that's what it's going to come down to.
Are you Sarah Connor? So the next one is kind of exciting for me and Nate as well. In Korea, north or south, I don't know, and I honestly don't care. Nokia has found a way to transmit and demonstrate
This is definitely South Korea.
It's got to be.
Nothing like this would ever happen in the NK.
No.
My bad. The DPRK, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Which is ironically far from a democracy.
So far from democratic.
Oh my God! But they found a way to demonstrate 5 GB LTE, but they didn't do it on any phone. It's just, I think, just receiver to receiver, but they transmitted 5 gigs in like 11 seconds or something like that, which is roughly the equivalent of an HD full-length movie. So 11 seconds.
That is just outstanding. I love the fact that we've come so far now that we can literally transmit an entire movie in 11 seconds. But if it doesn't make it to phones first, I guarantee you, for that simple fact right there, Hollywood will jump on this. Like that, man. And it's gonna be one of those things where you hear about a movie, and literally the minute that it's released, it will be available across the country to every single theater you can think of.
Because they can transfer it that fast, and I hope that they don't lock down this technology to wireless carriers and cell phone.
I really hope not, because that would just be such a waste.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the potential is insane, because companies like Google could get behind this, and Google, Cox, Comcast, fiber gigabit speeds are no longer out of the question.
Right.
If it gets to a point where this technology is, cheap enough and feasible enough to put, several of these towers in a state, the entire country can have fiber. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. And right now I'm at a point where I really want Google to get off their butt and basically just roll out with fiber. But if 5G beats them to it, Sweet.
Yeah,
You know?
whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Because I'm
Exactly.
sitting on a 5 meg connection, and I don't know for the people out there that are watching, I don't know if I'm lagging or not. I'm not lagging on my end, but
I can't tell that you're lagging.
yeah. So, but I mean, I promised 5
Oh,
meg
for those
connection.
wondering, there's about a 200-mile difference between Evan and I.
Yes,
I don't know this
roughly.
quite that much, but it's a good distance.
That's a good estimate. That's a good estimate. Uh, but yeah, so it's just like whatever it takes. If Google gets there, it's fine. Cox gets there, it's fine. I only have like two internet providers available to me right here, and for what I'm willing to pay, I'm promised 5 megs, and
Yeah.
that's cool. And I mean, it's just clearly good enough to host a Google Hangout on YouTube, but it's not satisfactory to me. I like
Right.
to
Right.
do Linux virtualizations in VirtualBox, and I pretty much have to set it overnight to download the ISO.
Right.
So we'll see where that goes, and hopefully somebody can get the capital behind that. Maybe Elon Musk will get
There you
behind
go.
that.
There you go.
That's what we need.
Call Uncle Elon and say, "Hey, man, I'm needing some help with my internet connection here. You feel like showing $100 million our way?"
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, right here in the middle of the
Right
show,
now, I'm using $100 bills as toilet paper. So NBD, man.
just throw them that. We'll just throw them that way. I'll airdrop some cash to your house. It's no big
Right.
deal.
Let me just throw this roll of TP your way.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now we're past the middle of the show, but I wanted to interject real quick. Like Nate said when he shared this video earlier, he brought up the fact that we don't have a name for this, and
No,
just
we
every
don't.
week I'm just calling it online. I'm just calling
Weekly
it,
Tech Hangout with Evan and Nate.
which is really, really stupid. And
And
I
it
hate
doesn't roll off the tongue at all.
No. Hey, have you seen the weekly tech hangout with Devin and Nate? All right, so we need to fix that. If you're a person and you're alive and you're here right now, drop a comment, and any suggestions are welcome. Literally, all of them are welcome.
Yeah, I mean, it could even be like, it obviously will never work, but you could give us something like Epic Tech Hangouts of History.
Oh, then we get sued for
Then
everything.
we'd be a hell of a lawsuit, wouldn't it?
Oh my God, I don't even want to imagine it. I would be dead.
Yeah, I would pass out for sure, because Maker Studios would be like, "You bastards, you
Hey.
really did not just do that, seriously."
They would cease our existence.
Oh yes,
with lawyers, lots of lawyers.
effectively slam lawsuits, man.
But yeah, so like I said, I'm seeing that we have at least a couple of viewers here. But if you're here, just drop us a line, and I'll say a reminder at the end of the show. Any suggestions are definitely welcome for names. So back
Comments,
to
questions, and snide remarks are also welcome. They don't even have to do with the name.
Especially the snide remarks.
Yes, because I enjoy reading them.
Everything is welcome, and I love being made fun of. So if that's your thing, you can do that. You don't even have to help us with the name. You can just leave us a snide comment, make us feel bad about ourselves. That's fine. Just come back and do it every week.
Come destroy our self-esteem, please.
Every week. That's the stipulation. If you're going to do it, you have to do it on a consistent basis, or it's not allowed.
Exactly right. Don't be a troll. Just do it constantly.
You cannot be inconsistent. All
right.
We digress. So yeah, exactly. Moving on. Netflix. I can't remember if we talked about this last week. I think we did.
We did talk about the fact that they were doing it last week. Yes.
Right. So they were talking about how Netflix was putting up service announcements that Verizon's network is crap. That's why Netflix sucks for you right now. And so Verizon, on behalf of everyone else, because I don't think it was explicitly Verizon, I think it was Comcast at times or any other cable provider that was in Netflix's view slowing down the connection. And so Netflix, under pressure, whatever the pressure is stopping the service messages. And before, it was to the point where they said, we're testing these messages. That's what they told Verizon. We're testing these. And so now it's come out to where Verizon has pressured them. I don't know if they threatened.
Did that make it on air?
What? This
me pressing the button there.
No, it did not.
Damn it. No, because I totally just hit the button and it was Darth Vader going no.
Press in
Um,
dire situations.
exactly. No, but I did that because of the simple fact that I really truly think that as soon as I figure out how to get the screen share off of here, there we go. That I think that was one of the greater things that Netflix has done, besides
Yeah.
Orange is the New Black and then ordering. Oh, right, we'll not talk about that one just yet. But Netflix is doing a lot of really good things, and I really think that the service message is saying Verizon's network is officially shit. I think that was great because
That's
it called
bold.
them out on their crap.
Yep. And Verizon was the only one to get offended, I think. But
Yep.
I don't know if it actually targeted other ISPs or what. But I'm glad they did it.
It did. It
now
got a hold of AT&T and it got a hold of Comcast and
Yeah.
Time Warner and
And so from what I understand, it's gone for now. They're not doing it anymore. And Netflix was just like, oh, Verizon didn't make us stop. We were beta testing it. Like we stopped on our own volition. And so now
Bull.
yeah, exactly. But the rumor is that they are going to bring a full rollout because not everybody was seeing those messages. It was
Really?
I don't think it was a full thing. I think it was just like a case by case. Like, okay, this is really bad. We'll put the message up.
Right. Yeah.
But there's rumors floating around that they're going to bring it back in full scale. So if that
I
happens,
really hope so.
I do too.
I want nothing more than to see all ISPs go, okay, well, I
Yes.
guess we kind of suck. Yeah, you do suck.
Exactly. And they need to.
I'm sorry, but my parents should not be stuck on DSL right now because Charter doesn't want to get off their lazy asses and get a friggin' cable connection out to the middle of nowhere. You know? There are people that live out there.
Hard. Somebody who lives in nowhere. Every nowhere you can find, someone lives there. It's
right.
It's true.
I know Mennonites. No, not Mennonites. I know Amish people who used to be Amish that have quicker connections than my parents. Literally, they get on their horse and buggy, and then they go into town, and then they don't tell anyone that they hop on the computer at the library.
The library.
So,
I knew you were going.
Right. Library? What's that? I don't know, Josiah.
Just no. Okay, I'm not even gonna go. I'm not gonna go there. We might have some Amish viewers, so I'm gonna stop.
to all the Amish viewers, Evan does not endorse any of my views.
No, I do not endorse anti-Amish jargon.
But by the way, I'm not an anti-Amish person. It's just I think it's kind of funny.
It's a universally accepted, joke.
Exactly.
The next thing I have these out of order, but since we're talking about Netflix, we can talk about the other Netflix news that we had on the docket, which.
Oh, this makes me so happy and takes me back to my childhood.
Exactly, it's relatively exciting. So we saw last week that LeVar Burton did a Kickstarter, got the funding in like less than a day to do.
He got a lot of funding for it too.
A ton of funding on Kickstarter to reboot
Reading Rainbow.
Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't come to me, but
take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow. Yes. This next one makes me so bloody happy.
So that got everybody excited. And so everybody's in the mode of going back to their childhood and be like, yes, Reading Rainbow. I'm going to watch it again. Like, I'm tired. And
then Netflix is just kind of like, I wonder what else we could bring back from the 90s that 90s kids will remember. Oh, right! Magic School Bus! Yes!
Hell yes.
Right? As a kid of the 90s, as a fan of science, and as a fan of school buses because I used to drive a school bus, I think that is the greatest thing ever.
Netflix is going the right way with all these original shows, and obviously that's not original, but things that they produce, and
they're bringing it back.
Right, they are responsible for bringing it back, and I think that's awesome. Hopefully they go. I think it'd be cool to see them keep with the retro animation style that everybody's used to, and not try and make it creepy Shrek style 3D animation.
Right. If they try to pull some Pixar RenderMan bullshit, I don't think it'll work.
I know it'll be.
At the same time, though, I don't think that it should also be the same kids that were on the original Magic School Bus, because if it is, that Mrs. Frizzle is one absolute crap teacher.
No one ever questioned that. How long was that show on?
Oh God, I don't know. It's been a minute, man. I'm
But
gonna have to find out now.
It was the
How
same kids the
long
whole time.
was the Magic School Bus? No, not Magistrate. Magic School Bus.
I mean, it was on for a long time.
On TV.
If you want to get fact checky with it, you'll notice that those kids were probably could have been college graduates.
There was 52 episodes of that. Yeah, the original run was from September 10th, 1994 to December 6th, 1997, according to Wikipedia. So take that for what it's worth.
I was going to say,
either way, you know.
I thought there was a lot more. I mean,
I did too. I really did.
That felt like an every other day thing in school. I don't know.
It did, yeah. That in middle school especially, because for some goofy ass reason, after they aired Channel 1 in the mornings, they would air an episode of Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
Which I thought there was a lot more episodes than just 52 episodes. Whatever.
Shocking.
But
it's exciting. They're doing it, and they're bringing it back, and Netflix is the entertainment of the future.
Yes. And the cool part is the fact that they're actually licensing it from Scholastic, the original production company, which means they're going to bring back the original theme song from Little Richard, and it's going to be just awesome. With Lily Tomlin too. And there's something I didn't know. I didn't know Danny Tamborelli was in that. Did you?
I did not.
You probably don't know who that is, do you?
I'm not gonna try and lie to you on there, Nate. I have no idea who that is.
Okay. He was on holy crap, he's 32 years old now. He was on the original, like when Nickelodeon first got started in like the early 90s. They had a show called The Adventures of Pete and Pete. He also played, he was also in a show called The Babysitter's Club. He was a panelist on Figure It Out, and he was also on All That, along with other shows.
All that was a good show. It was
right.
It was kind of All That. Well,
yeah, All That was pretty good, I thought.
It was.
Before they got to, oh, damn it, like Jamie Lynn Spears and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
okay, moving on.
Fast. It is, and we digress, and that's one of the things we do best.
Yes, a lot. Because we go off on tangents all the time.
Tangents are where the best content comes in, and if you're watching this...
There we go. The Tangential Tech Show.
Tangential?
The Tangential
I gotta find out if that's a word.
It is.
Tangential.
Gential.
Of, relating to, or along a tangent. Tangential thoughts. I'm uncomfortable because Google separates the word and it makes it look a lot like genitals. Tangential. And
on Google, that could be a crazy, crazy thing to search.
You do not want to search that, I promise. So I'm going to put that in the bank. That's a good one. Tangential Tech Show. I like that. Because that fits really, really well.
Especially for our show.
Yes. And I think we're doing well because my goal was to make this hopefully start lasting a full hour so it could be a regular thing that people could count on to last an hour.
Right.
But I have two more things left. The next one I'm excited about, iOS 8. Of course, everybody saw the features last week. We talked about WWDC on here. But the developers went digging through the code, as they always do, of iOS 8, and they found a new privacy feature that, without going into too much detail, basically masks your MAC address from people that track you, say anything from department stores to restaurants, to anything that uses your phone's MAC address to track you, and either whatever they do with it, sell it to an ad agency or whatever they might do with your data and your purchasing behaviors.
Which is what Facebook is doing now.
Facebook is doing that, like with web history, which is insane, and I hate them.
That is disgusting, seriously.
I hate them. They're rich enough already.
If they do one more thing, I'm honestly getting rid of my Facebook page because that is just a rude and gross misuse of user user history knowledge of user anything,
And I don't even want to know what they're going to add with that because I already get things related to my web history. I was looking at buying a computer monitor on Google, nothing to do with Facebook.
Yeah.
Next day, get on Facebook, all the ads. Do you want this Dell monitor? Do you want this Lenovo monitor? No, I don't.
Right. And the craziest part is that I started getting, I was looking at buying a new gun the other day, and I was looking up Springfield Armory, and all of a sudden I started seeing, advertisements pop-ups everywhere. Well, not really pop-ups, because when's the last time you see a pop-up?
Right.
But not just like advertisements from different gun stores and different retailers and stuff, and it's just like, holy crap! I didn't subscribe to any of this shit. Screw you, Google.
Yeah.
Or not Google, Facebook.
Google, it's
Google's
everyone.
doing it too.
Yeah, everyone's doing it. I mean, that's how they justify it. It's like, we watch
everyone's doing it.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It's still wrong.
Right. So I'm glad Apple is stepping in the right direction with this, and basically it makes a fake MAC address and randomizes it and makes different fake MAC addresses, and so these trackers don't know who you are. So you get on Wi-Fi or whatever. And it's awesome.
I love that.
Apple, I don't hate you. So you did a good job of becoming a tech company that people don't hate. And
exactly. I don't even think
that's the gold standard.
That's well done.
Yeah. And it's sad that that's the gold standard in this day and age, but
it is.
You just have to be not garbage.
Yes. You don't have to be shady or shitty.
Right. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, because we're getting really close to 9 o'clock, which is awesome, because we made it a full hour.
Woohoo! Go us!
I made sure to oh my god, I feel bad, but no, I don't feel bad. He's rich. Harrison Ford is filming Star Wars Episode 7, as I'm sure you all know, and he today was hospitalized because he fractured, either mildly injured or fractured his ankle, filming the movie, and for all intents and purposes, they deny what actually he did to hurt it. But I don't know if it was a joke or not, but they put out there that he hurt himself with the door of the Millennium Falcon, which I thought was hilarious.
According to the New York Daily News, the hydraulic door from the Millennium Falcon, the iconic spaceship that Han Solo pilots, gave way and injured Ford, possibly fracturing his ankle. Here's what I find most hilarious about the fact that he injured his ankle. They airlifted him to the hospital.
They did not.
They did. They airlifted Harrison Ford to the hospital for a busted ankle.
That makes it even worse. What are they like? If you're in remote Alaska, I can see that because that's about your only option. But they were
right.
I think they were in London or something like that.
Yeah, they're at friggin' Pinewood Studios, which is where they've filmed almost every James Bond movie.
Interesting.
Right? No, but I just think that is really, truly hilarious. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I do feel sorry for him because he's 71 years old. But at the same time, it's an ankle injury. You don't have to airlift for ankle injuries.
And he's not going to have to get it replaced or, it's not his hip or something like that.
Right.
He'll be fine.
Let's face it, Harrison Ford is in very good shape.
Yeah, for a 71-year-old, he's definitely kept his fitness.
Yeah, he's like Charles Atlas or Jack LaLanne, He's in very good shape.
Very, very good shape, and that's why I don't feel bad. He'll be fine. He'll make it, and he will still be rich at the end of the day.
Yep.
Looks like
I'm sure his insurance is fantastic.
Really good insurance. He probably has parts of his body separately insured.
Probably.
Like Troy Polamalu's hair. There's an insurance policy. There's an insurance policy for Troy Polamalu's hair.
Is there? I knew there was, but is there still one?
I don't know about still, but I mean,
I know there was.
You can still do Head and Shoulders commercials with it, so it's of some value.
Right. Yeah.
It's basically 9 o'clock.
Is there an insurance policy on Monte Teo's girlfriend though?
I don't know. There could be. Oh my gosh.
Which would be fraudulent when you really think about it.
It would be fraudulent insurance. All right. Well,
so it's like 8:50. It's 9 o'clock now, according to my computer.
Exactly 9 o'clock. So I'm gonna say we call it a week.
That
It's been
sounds good to me, man.
fun. Hopefully, we can work out that name. I think we finally hit one on the head. So I'm gonna change all the titles and just do episode 01, something like
That
that.
sounds good to me, dude.
All right. So for all of you who stuck with us through the episode, if you have any suggestions for the name, just be sure to leave a comment just in case. You might change our mind. And like we said earlier, be sure to make fun of us, ruin our self-esteem, whatever you want to do. And we will see you at 8 p.m. same time next Thursday. Have a good night, guys.
Good night, folks. Great seeing you.